America is a great country. We have several laws, rights, and protections in place to keep us safe and keep us free. One of those rights is being imposed on, and that is our Second Amendment right to bear arms. Good afternoon, my name is George Wilkinson, and this is my final week assignment, A Persuasive Speech. The topic I chose to share with you today is something that's been in the spotlight for several years in the wake of horrible tragedies that have occurred across this great nation. I chose to speak about our Second Amendment rights, more specifically gun control, and how it affects our country. No matter what side of the fence you stand on regarding gun control, I please ask that you just lend me your ear for a few minutes and try and keep an open mind. Gun control has been a serious issue as of late, and now more and more people want American citizens disarmed. Gun control is a conversation that is typically fueled by emotions. After every mass shooting, American citizens think to themselves, what if this happened where I worked, or at my child's school? A valid question, of course, and one I think every American thinks of after one of these tragedies. But what this does is cause fear, and this fear typically causes some to call for stricter gun control laws. This is where the problem lies. Most of these cries for gun control have been emotionally charged and make lawmakers feel that something has to be done right away to make our citizens feel safe. Unfortunately, these rash decisions get made and our guns suffer. This has been happening since the 20th century. In the wake of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre of 1929, the first major firearms law was passed, according to Wikipedia. First, America banned fully automatic weapons. But where does it end? The Second Amendment clearly states, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment does not read that the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed except when it comes to unusual weapons, automatic weapons, or any weapon that could not have been imagined at the time of the Second Amendment was written. One can imagine not needing to have a fully automatic rifle. Even I could see that. But if I wanted one, I should be able to buy one given that I passed the required background checks. That's not even the real issue. The issue is the government has restricted access to the AR-15 and several rifles like it, and has even tried to ban its ammunition. The Crime Bill of 1994 restricted the manufacture, transfer, and possession of certain semi-automatic assault weapons, as they called them, according to AR15.com. The AR-15 is based off the design of the military M16 rifle, and is a semi-automatic firearm with a caliber round just slightly larger than a .22, which is one of the smallest rounds a gun can fire. It is one of the most popular firearms in America that can be used for several different functions. Because of its popularity and its ability to be customizable, you can purchase it almost anywhere, including online, and in many different configurations. Some configurations that closely resemble military-style rifles. As you can see, the government is banning and placing strict regulations on whatever they want, which clearly goes against what is written in the Second Amendment. In an article I read on thedailybeast.com, Supreme Court Justice Anton Scalia was quoted in 2008 saying that the Second Amendment is not the right to carry any weapon whatsoever, in any manner whatsoever, for whatever purpose. And I can slightly agree with that. I do not need to carry a fully automatic weapon into a gas station to grab a cup of coffee, but I should be able to have access to this weapon, should I want it. It is clear that the government is doing whatever they want, and it seems no one can stop them. The thing that prevents us as Americans from having a real adult conversation about gun control is the extremist. And I just don't mean Second Amendment extremist, but gun ban extremists as well. We send people who eat and sleep guns or gun control to Washington and other political meetings where there is no middle ground. You have pro-gun ban supporters that think Americans don't need to have access to any guns at all and that guns are useless. On the other hand, you have Mr. Gun Supporter that feels governments shouldn't have any say about their guns and that no one has the right to mess with them. It's quite obvious that when these two groups get together, there is no middle ground. There's no compromise. All the while, Mr. Middle-of-the-road gun owner, like myself, just wants to be able to go out on the weekends and shoot his AR-15 with his friends, or have a pistol on him when he goes into rougher areas of the city, and keep a shotgun under his bed in case of a home invasion. These are not unreasonable requests, and I do not see why Washington cannot get on board. As far as the argument that stricter gun control will lower violent crimes, is false. I found information online at gunsandammo.com from a 2013 study conducted by the Center for Disease Control, or the CDC, which states that armed citizens are less likely to be injured by an attacker. It makes complete sense to me. Why would someone want to rob me if I have a pistol on my hip? But yet, some still want us disarmed. All that would do is take guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens who have registered their weapons. What about the millions of illegal firearms out there? The ones with no serial numbers that are used for murders and passed around the crime community over and over. Are we just going to assume that we will eventually find all of these weapons? I don't, and I certainly would not want to be unarmed when someone comes through my front door with one of these illegal weapons. In conclusion, I encourage you to seek the facts. Do the research yourself before forming a decision about guns. I feel there could be a slight need for change, but we first need to look at the real issue. When someone commits a crime or an unfortunate mass shooting occurs, don't blame the gun. Like Speaker of the House John Boehner said, "I'm sorry, but a gun is not a disease. Guns don't kill people. People do. And when people use weapons in a horrible way, we should condemn the actions of the individual and not blame the action on some weapon." I feel once we accept and understand that there are horrible people out there that do horrible things, we will be able to find common ground that can make both sides of gun control happy. I appreciate the time. I appreciate you taking the time to hear me speak today, and I hope I shed a different light on one of the hot topics in America today. Thank you and have a great day.